Hey everybody, it's Angel from Halo Inspirations. We give you inspirations to help you spread beauty and joy through your quilting journey. Happy hump day, whoop whoop. Happy last of the back to the basics with machine, this way, I always screw that up. With machine binding. We did completely machine bind. Now, of course, in the video, we also squared the quilt. Hope I sent a little bit of inspiration on how I square a quilt. I actually have talked to a couple of people who have never done that, so it was a lot of fun. Good to see you, Sherry. Good to see you. Appreciate you looking out for everybody, and everybody out there, I want to say hello. I hope that you say hello back. So this was machine binding, and this is our live Q&A for it. And I want to take you down just a little bit of history. You know, everybody says you're not supposed to pick out your mistakes, but I want you to realize that it takes practice. And I also wanted to show why I don't use 2.5. I started that way because naturally, hey there, Mom, glad to see you. Naturally, I learned to bind where you stitch it down with machine on the front and then you flip it over and you do a hand stitch, right? That's where I started, but I realized it just took so much time. Now I have a couple of cherubs. Hello, Sharina, glad to see you. I do have a couple of cherubs who have been around since the beginning of Halo, and they have seen some monstrosities in some of the events that I did. And they also saw, and it might still be out there, but it's a video on machine binding. And, you know, some people put it on the back first and flip it over. So I did that. It was like, it's old. So I didn't perfect this method at that time. So it's interesting to see. So I did, in fact, take some pictures of some quilts on the wall that are hanging up for inspiration at the quilt shop. And mind you, I did it by myself, so that was a lot of fun. But so they may not be the greatest situated, might not be completely straight, and that's why. But I wanted to take you along and show you how this started and why I don't use 2.5-inch squares, okay? And if anybody has any questions or comments, or you just want to say hello, we would love, love, love to hear from you. And don't hesitate to do that. So I'm going to take you back to one of the very first ones that I did with machine binding. I did use 2.5 inches, which you'll see. And I also used no glue. There's no glue. I think I might have pinned it. It's been a long time. So it's just the back of the quilt so that you can see the back of the binding, because remember, I did still stitch on the front. So let me pull that over. Okay, and it might be kind of hard to see. This is such a treasure of a quilt for me. It's the one that I got to have Vicki Holloway of My Creative Corner 3. She quilted this for me. So love, love, love it. And I treasure this. But I put the binding on. And I used 2.5-inch strips. Now, if you watch the video today that dropped, you will see that my lip is not that big. Okay? And that's one of the... Yeah, I do too. That's one of the challenges that I first started to experience, because you know what? Does it ruin the quilt? No, it doesn't. It's a beautiful quilt. But I just wasn't happy. Personally, you have to be happy. And for me, I wasn't happy. But I didn't rip it. I didn't start over, right? I left it. And it does take me through the journey of where I started and where I am. So I always encourage people, you don't need to rip it. We don't need to. It's all good. Okay? But that is using 2.5 inches without batting, extending away from the quilt top. Because some people will cut their quilt tops flush. All the 3 fabrics are equal together. and some will leave a 1/4 inch of batting to help fill the binding. Okay, I don't normally do that. I just cut flush. Just cut it. Just as Michael would say, just send it. So that's what happens when I use a 2.5 and no glue and not really paying attention to keeping it straight. I mean, it's one of my first. Okay, so I wanted to share that one, and then another one that was a little bit later, still the same issues, still no glue, still not cutting 2 1/4. I was scared to cut 2 1/4 because it sounds so much smaller. So it's my red and white quilt that I did on the video for Hunter Star. Yeah. Okay, so that one was after the Hexie one that y'all saw. And I still didn't have it perfected. Still didn't figure out that I needed personally to cut a 2 1/4. And I still didn't leave batting extending away from the quilt. Did it ruin the quilt? No. Thing hangs up and everybody compliments on it and inspires people to make a Hunter Star. And as a matter of fact, it's been inspiring enough that I'm going to write an FPP pattern for it. So enough people have asked. So it doesn't ruin the quilt at all. It doesn't. It's just a memory of my journey. And I just wanted to share it with you. So the next one I'm going to show you, I bound in the fall of last year, and we're much better. So we're at 2 1/4 at this point. I am using glue, and if you watch the video, I told y'all I got close. So hello, Miss Sherry Shore, Miss Sherry with an S. Glad to see you. So much better, much cleaner. And okay, so I was telling you in the video I got a little closer than I'm used to, and it's because I didn't pull it down far enough. I like that size lip, or somewhere in between the one you saw this morning and this one. Much cleaner, much prettier, in my opinion, right? This is my quilt. So then I did another one, I want to say in March. Whoops. Whoa, don't do that. Almost did a big no-no. Okay, so this one is a free pattern. Well, I got to close these here. There we go. That I did to demonstrate something you could do with the fabric line. But I wanted to share with you the binding. That's probably my favorite distance. It's real close to the other one I just showed you. But the one I did with you guys, it's even skinnier. So that's the binding, and I did take 2 pictures because I wanted you to see just a little bit more of it. And I did put a tag in that one, and I got a little flip on it because I didn't pay attention, but it can still be done with a tag, okay? So, and look at those corners. So the method works. It does work, and if you get frustrated because the first one doesn't come out exactly how you like it, it's okay. Okay, it's really okay. And the next one will get better. And then just look at it and say, what could I have done different to get where I want to be? You know, look at it. Did I pull it too far? Did I not pull it enough? If you didn't pull it enough, you're not going to catch the binding at all. And that you'll have to rip, right? Because the binding has to be tacked. But you can look at it and really decide what it is that you would have done possibly different, and when you do the next one, you do it different. It's just like quilting. It's so fun when people think the first time they sit down and they're going to piece that everything's going to be beautiful, or the first time they sit down and they're going to free motion, everything's going to be beautiful. It doesn't have. We all know now in those circumstances that just doesn't happen. It takes a little practice, and doing a sewing machine mat that is something small and manageable is definitely a great place to practice. Or, you know, maybe you're making a charity quilt and you got to have the stitches on there, but if you don't have that perfect width, it's okay. And I would encourage you, if you don't put batting in extra, outside the quilt top and the backing, a 1/4 inch. That's what some people like to do, which is great. But if you don't do that, I would so encourage you to try and cut 2 1/4. Okay? Especially if you do this type of method. Okay? So that's the first thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. The next thing, and I'm curious, do any of y'all machine bind? And if you do, there are several methods. So some people like to put it on the back first and flip it over and machine stitch it down on the front. Pretty good idea, right? So there's so many methods, and no method is wrong, especially if you're the one that's happy. But there's nothing wrong as long as it gets bound, right? Because that's what makes it a finished product. So I'm just curious. You do sometimes, Sherry? Yeah. You machine bind? Oh, Sherry with an S and Sherry with a C? So, and you're Sherry with an S, you still hand bind. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Especially as you get a lot of projects done too. I am impressed. That takes time. That takes a lot of time. So one of the other things that was in the video is I did talk about a binding calculator that I have out there. It's been out there since 2020. So it's not the prettiest thing because y'all know I'm not the one that makes prints pretty. But I went ahead, I do give it out in my Quilting 101 class for my new quilters so that they have a copy of it when we get to the binding part. That's one of the things that I talk about so that you can leave and figure out your own binding. So I went ahead and had it printed off, so I brought it in, and I'm going to show you overhead. If you do click the link on the bottom of that video, as a matter of fact, I'll put the same link in this video after we get off and underneath the Facebook side. So it will take you to a landing page. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically a page, and it's just for the binding calculator. That's all it's for. Okay, but it will ask you one question, and you have to answer yes or no. The question is if you want to sign up for the newsletter, basically. So you have an option. You don't have to sign up for the newsletter. You can say yes, or you can say no, just send me the goodies. Okay, so you don't have to sign up for the newsletter to get the free binding calculator. I offered it to everybody since 2020 for free. So let me pull you over underneath. You hand bind small projects. Wow. And oh, Sharina does machine bind. She sews to the back first. Yeah, a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with it. This is just my preferred method. I like the front, just because. I know you, Mom, you hand stitch binding, but machine binding would be good to do when arthritis is, yep, it would be. It would be. I know my mom doesn't just hand bind the back. My mom hand binds the whole thing. Like, she puts it on by hand and she puts it on the back by hand. And Dawn says, hello, Dawn. All machine, front first. Yes. Very cool. See, there's so many methods, and there's no wrong. And don't let anybody tell you there's something wrong. As long as it stays on there and it holds the 3 layers on the edge to keep the edge protected, you're good to go. Okay? All right. So I'm going to pull you over underneath this camera and show you this binding calculator. Okay. So it's 2 pages when you download it, okay? So it says example. So I do give you an example of basically a quilt that is 60 by 45, which is really funny because it's a square. The shape of a square should be a rectangle. Remember, this girl is not the pretty one, okay? And then I walk you through the steps just like I did on the video today. And you, at the end of it, it'll tell you how many yards you need and how many strips that you need. I even talk about different standard, that's an interesting word, width of strips. Now, what I find interesting, I do know that Fabric Cafe, I want to say, we're going to look at a book. I want to say they do 1 3/4 maybe. And I know a lot of people that do. So maybe this needs to be updated. But mine is, you know, I tend to use 2 1/4, but there's also 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, and 3-inch. I know some people who do 3-inch and 2-inch. But I also know people who do 1 1/2. So I think that needs to be updated. But bottom line is, here's the example. And then you also, and you can reprint it over and over until the math gets like a muscle memory in your head. You know, you just kind of do it. And so this will offer you the opportunity to fill in the blanks yourself. Okay. That easy. And it's free. I always say, if it's free, it's for me. So, and look, see, it still says 2020. But that's what that binding calculator is. I just wanted to show you what it is when I said it in the video, what exactly I was talking about, and this is it. And it really helps you just figure out how many strips and how much yardage. You can do it on your own. You don't have to depend on a pattern. Okay. Because, you know, maybe the pattern doesn't do it the way you do it. Maybe the pattern offers a different width that you don't want to use. So this allows you to figure out your own and go from there. Okay, let me come back at you, I hope. Okay. Whoop, whoop. So that's what I had to offer. Hey there, Melissa. Glad to see you. Oh, you say, Melissa says, hello or hi, and your basting spray is awesome. Okay, so fun story. She obviously has tried it. That is another landing page. And in the home base spray video, I did one on how I made it. There's a link underneath there that will take you to another landing page that's just for the homemade spray base. Now, Melissa, I love it too, and it's so inexpensive. It works like a charm. It doesn't gum your needle. For the most part, you can find these things in your home. The only thing you may have to buy is the rubbing alcohol. And they make odorless, by the way, just so you know. The only thing that I personally don't use it as much anymore, the reason is because you have to let it sit and dry. So you do one side and you let it dry and then you flip it over. I usually wait a day. So I do it, you know, sometime during the day, just let it sit, let it dry. And then the next day I do the backing or the topper. It's usually the topper that I do second. That's the only down. That's, you know, everything's got plus and minuses, right? But what I really do enjoy that because of the inexpensiveness. And I will tell you, Melissa, if you're still here, you'll want to shake it every now and again. If you have, anytime you go to quilt, give it a good shake because it will settle. And if you just shake it up, you're good. I've had a bottle last me almost a year and nothing was wrong. Still worked great. Now, I would encourage you to let the top of your sprayer open a little bit because it will, with the alcohol starting to evaporate, it sucks in some of the oxygen and so the bottle will start to collapse. So open that up every now and again. Give it a good shake. If you let it sit too long, it will clog the spray tubing. But man, you got to let it sit a long time for it to do that, at least in my experience. I mean, a long time. It was more than 9 months that I let a bottle sit. So it took a long time for that to happen. But the nice thing is it's just flour, salt, water, and rubbing alcohol. Okay? So you can get it out. Warm water. got rid of it. And you know, that's the other thing is that it you can wash it out, and you can spray it on your floor. I did. I sprayed it on my floor. I knew people that did it on their carpet. They did it. I used hardwood just because it's flat, but you can spray it in your house. So, at any rate, thank you, Melissa, for your feedback. Appreciate it, girly. So that's binding, guys. And I hope you enjoy going down memory lane with me a little bit, and you can see the difference. So, like I said, if you don't get it perfect the first time, it's really okay. It took me a while to figure it out, especially when I was scared to death to cut a 2 1/4 strip. Okay. I would encourage you, if you want to try it the method that I show, I would encourage you to make something not too small, okay, because then joining becomes kind of fiddly. So, you know, this size is really good, or a table topper or a table runner. That's another good one because usually they're longer. But something small so it's manageable, and you know, you can do a lot of practicing like that. But so that is machine binding. If you're watching the hashtag replay, guys, make sure you say hello. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Of course, you can also drop them in the video. That's probably more of the norm, which is great. Okay, now we're going to go into, I just have a few things to share. We had this really cool panel come in, and I wanted to share it with you. Super cute, love it. So there's somebody outside walking around, so if you see me looking out the direction, that's fine. Okay, we're all locked up, it's okay. So now I'm going to pull you under to show you some of these up close so you can really get an eyeball for it. Here we go. So they're all religious. This is actually a QT fabric by Cindy Sepp. Oh, I guess I'd be upside down for you because I forget you're right side up. So there we go. Okay. And this panel is part of the line called Rejoice. So you get, we counted these earlier and I've already forgotten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3, 21 blocks. That's correct. I remember now. And each one is a little different. So there's 6 of them, and I'll pull up the bottom here. Very cute, right? Be strong and courageous. The Lord is my strength and my shield. Fight the good fight of the faith. Yay! God is good. Ain't that the truth? So let's go to the next 6. She did a really wonderful job on this. And I love the background. These are, I'm going to tell you, approximately 5 inches. Okay? Love that. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I forgot to tell you what I was sharing. Yes, it's in the What's New. You're all over it, girl. Thank you. I don't know if she dropped it in YouTube, but she definitely has dropped it on the Facebook side. So, so it is very cool. The Lord is my light and my salvation. I think this is awesome, and it's already sold quite a number. People are absolutely loving it. Wait till I show you the 2 coordinating fabrics that we purchased with it. But here, oh, my air conditioner kicked on, just so you know. I'm not in an airplane. That'd be nice. Where would I be going? Jamaica? Where would you go if you were in an airplane? Germany. Let's go to Germany. Okay. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Faith can move mountains. When that's fun. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Oh, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Yes, I love it, love it. Hope you love it too. There we go. So let me show you the 2 coordinating fabrics that came with, that we purchased with it. Get this all folded for you. Okay. Here's the first one. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? Yes, yes, yes. Super sweet, super love it. This is Rejoice. They're online. I want to say it's something to do with like crosses on cream or something. But there are 2 bolts. So this is one of them. So if you type in Rejoice, it'll bring up this and it'll bring up the panel. You love that too. I know, right? I love it. And it's already been selling. All right, so there's the first one. Now this one can be used in other things besides anything religious type, right? There's no crosses, just beautiful scrolls with flowers on a cream. I'm gonna up the camera light for a second. Yeah, that's a little better. So yes, I love I'm sorry I keep petting it because QT has upped their game with 75 counts, so it's real smooth. So it feels nice. That's it, just plain and simple. But it's just a beautiful print, nice gray that's kind of like a silver. And there's different values of gray in it. I mean, you've got your lights here and some darks here. Just a beautiful fabric. Cindy Sepp has really done a great job on this line, I think. So those are the fabrics that I wanted to share. We did talk about 3-yard quilts. Okay, so they have, this is their newest. We just got it in, I don't know, week 2, like around the, I don't know, a week or 2 ago. So we've got Quick Christmas 3-yard quilts by Donna and her daughter Fran. 8 new designs. There's some of them. Isn't that cool? Those are so awesome. Now I'm just going to peek real quick on their binding. Let's see. Now, I guess it would depend because it does say, oh no, there it is, 1 1/4 for binding. But they also have a binding in extension, so I'm going to have to read. I've never made one, guys. I think I'm going to have to, so I can talk about it. But I know a lot of you have. So, if in fact, you know, let us know. Be great. You have a weakness for, and I know you do, Sherry. Did you get over the gnomes finally? Because you had a weakness with gnomes, and goodness grief, if it was gnomes and Christmas, it was like, it was over for you. But those are beautiful. Those are really pretty. I think this is my favorite. That just might be, I don't know, this one looks a lot of fun. This one looks fun too. I would put something different, I think, in here just to add a little difference, but, or vice versa. But I don't know. I don't know. It's a hard pick. I love stars. Gotta love stars. So I think I might do one, guys. All right. So that is Quick Christmas, available on the website under What's New. Thank you, Miss Sherry with a C. Sort of. Your mom ran out of room. Oh, that's fun. All right. The second book I wanted to share with you, y'all know, I'm going to turn down the light. Might get a little crazy. Okay. Y'all know that over here at Halo, we love us some Angela Walters. I try to go to her treat once a year. However, I didn't make it this year. Or last year, I should say. Was it last year? Maybe. No, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. So this is her ultimate guide to free motion quilting. Okay. Everything you love about Angela is in here, to include, look guys, look, 104 designs. So if you would like some inspiration, this is a great place to start. Okay. but she does take you through, look, I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to. There's a UFO in here. Who doesn't love a UFO in quilting? Okay, but in the contents, you'll see getting started, ways to use quilting, choosing and adjusting designs, quilting modern quilts. Of course, we have about the author, who we absolutely adore. And then your design library. So look at all these. Look at all that inspo. I love transitioning with different straight lines, organic, because, you know, it's harder than beeswax to sew a straight line. Super love this. Just super love it. So this one, I will tell you, runs $36.99. It's pretty thick though. Look at this. Look at that. That's a doozy. What's the page number on the back? Oh, 318. But then you have about the author. That's 319, and then the last page is actually 320. So that's a lot. That's a lot of Angela and a lot of inspiration and a lot of tips and techniques right here for you. If you're an Angela lover like I am, you'd love this book. So last but not least, I do want to share that the All Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop magazines are officially in, and we have pre-sold a lot of them, and they're already out, except a couple people who are out of town to pick up theirs, but they're saved. And we've had a lot of people coming in to purchase theirs. 96 participating shops, July through August, but I wanted to show you. So the last time we talked about it was just a picture. This is a doozy, guys. Okay. I mean, I guess it would be with 96 shops, plus all the support from the sponsors and, you know, all the details that are in here. 6 patterns enclosed. They're all in there. But one of the other benefits is that you get your passport in here. Okay. And it breaks it down into regions for you, so you don't have to do all 96 to qualify for prizes. It tells you how to qualify. This passport is one of the benefits, but you get a stamp, a sticker from every store that goes to their corresponding thing. I will tell you also what I find very beneficial. So it's just easier for me to talk about. Okay, I thought I had it memorized. Hold on, let me look. Okay, here we go. So we're part of the Southeast region. Okay, so it's really cool because it gives you all 10 stores that are part of that region, whatever region it is. So if you're in Pennsylvania, that's broken up into regions: Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, West Virginia. I had to think about it. And it gives you a little map to give you an idea of where they're located within the state. We do have specific shop hop hours that aren't advertised except for in the magazine. And so you get that information. You also have an all Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop Index. Look at all of these vendors, guys. Look at all of these vendors. Can I just say, this is amazing. Amazing how many manufacturers and companies have stepped up the game to really be supportive of the shop hop. But you do get an index of all 96 stores. Well, they fit them all on one page. I'm kind of impressed. And last but not least, hold on, we got to get there. I try not to show the pages all in there. I might get in trouble. Oh, I can show you that. Well, no, we won't do that. Okay. Where is it? Might help if I had this. Oh, here we go. So, that's it. Yeah, so it does show you a map of all the different regions and how they're broken up. So every color is a different region. So it can be easier for you to find your closest local quilt shop. Now, let me come back at you. Isn't that pretty, guys? Awesomeness. Oh, Oh, thank you, Mom. She said she just got hers, and it's very nice, including your ad page. Thank you, Mom. So, got to figure out how to switch again. Here we go. There we go. One of these days, you'd think after 2-3 years of this, I'd have it all figured out. Okay. So, what I wanted to say, again, the states are Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. If you live in one of those states, I would encourage you to find out from if your closest local quilt shop or somewhere close to you is participating. And buy the magazine if you're interested. You don't have to do all 96, although I'm sure there's big prizes for all 96, just saying. But if you are interested, I would encourage you to purchase it from them because it helps that store who is your local store, okay? It truly does help them. I've had, though, people from other states, whether they are planning to be in the area, maybe they're planning to be anywhere in those 6 states for whatever reason, but they're not, I've had it in Ohio, Texas, blah, 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 right? So they've purchased it from me, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't give me awful feelings. I don't want to take from another quilt shop that's participating. But you can also, you don't have to be in a local of the 6 states. That's a weird thing to say. A resident of one of those 6 states to buy a magazine, though, if you're ever inclined to see what it's all about and include the 6 patterns. So, I mean, think about that, guys. If you can find a pattern for $6 or $5, if you could find a pattern for $5. 6 times 5 is $30. So that is a huge benefit for you, besides all of the articles to read, and different companies have done their ads, and there's just a lot. There's some fabric. There's pretties, right? There's inspiration all over the place. So I wanted to talk about the All Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop magazine because it is finally here and available. There is fabric that is exclusive, but I'm going to wait till next week to talk about it. I will say, if you see it on our website and something is interesting to you, once it's gone, it's gone. So you can purchase it now, but it will not ship from us or be released to somebody who comes to pick it up until the 1st of July. Those are, Halo don't like rules, but they're not. It's not mine. It's not, unfortunately, it's not a guideline. It's the Shop Hops rules, and it's to keep us all on the same playing level. So, at any rate, y'all get to see all that next week. It's kind of fun. All right, so that's what I got. And I'm not seeing, I'm going to hit refresh, I hope. It'll probably do something really crazy. It did. Yep, it went nutso. I just wanted to make sure everything was good to go. Am I good to go? Did I miss something? Oh, look at that. Y'all know I love me some Stacey West, right? I don't know if you know this, but she has a Facebook page under Buttermilk Basin, and they go live and they talk about different kits. They talk about different stuff, all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, you should get your fix with some Buttermilk Basin. And her daughter will be on there, because I don't know how many of y'all know that she actually designs fabrics. And I want to say patterns. Hannah, if you ever see this, you can correct me. Okay, thank you, Sherry. But I just want to let you know that Buttermilk Basin does have a Facebook page, and it's very inspiring. And she's so much fun. I love me some Stacy. Okay, So I just happened to see it when I was checking on stuff, and I thought I'd pass the information. At any rate, so that's what we got for today. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Thank you, Sherry with an S, Sherry with a C, Sharina, and Miss Dawn, and my mom. And did I miss anybody who isn't lurking? We love you too. Lurkers are, I lurk all the time. So just not a big deal. We absolutely love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so isn't that weird? Just going through the comments, making sure I didn't miss anything, because I realize I have to go through 2 different buttons now. That's new. Everybody's changing, right? You got to keep up with it. Got to keep up. Look, I have enough time, hard enough time to figure out the right button. I don't know how I'm supposed to keep up with changes all the time without it being a surprise. Surprise! But at any rate, so that is machine binding. Don't forget, you can grab a free binding calculator if you so are inclined. I'll put a link on this video on both sides after we get off. So it's there for you. If you have any questions, if you run into any concerns, you tried it out and something just wasn't clicking. Just the brain thing, it was gone. You can always ask me in the video. You can always ask us. And I will tell you, like I promised a long time ago, when I knew when this was coming out that this would be a good time to do it. It is binding from front to finish. Okay, so you get the joining. Now, if you just want to join, wow, I've got some better tips now. I think it's a better video. But I do have just a joining video. But this video will take you from the beginning all the way to the end. And it's in one place, and fast forward is a wonderful thing, right? So at any rate, yep, just checking it all out. Y'all have a most fantabulous rest of your week, because it's hump day. Yep. And I wish y'all happy quilting. I appreciate when y'all come in and stop by. I love chit-chatting with you and hearing the things that you do and what works for you, and hearing your successes and seeing your funds. So I do. Oh, and Melissa, I didn't say thank you to Melissa for stopping in. So at any rate, thank you again. It's been an absolute joy. Next video drop, I said in today's, I'm going to do borders. I got a small project that was actually in a class that I did for a class, and it needs borders. So I thought this is a really good time to demonstrate borders, because I don't think I do them. I don't know. Maybe I do them like most people do. You'll find out. You'll have to tell me. Watch the video and let me know if this is how you do borders when I release it. So that's coming out, and I have a few more coming out too. So at any rate, you can look forward to that. Next week is the 29th. So in 2 weeks, that's when, no, maybe I'll come out next week just for the fabric. But we have Chair Chit Chat the first Wednesday of June. Oh, this will be fun. I'll give you all a little hint. So my daughter could actually have her baby any day. I asked her to get me through Thursday because I have one more class. But even if I'm over in her home, I can still come at you for a live chair chit chat for sure. As long as it's not, at the hospital, right? That would be kind of creepy. But I will keep you updated with that. So the first week of June is Cherub Chit Chat, and I'd love to be able to share your whips, UFOs. Let's be real. Some of them are real cute. Some of them are great ideas. Anything your heart desires, any of your finishes. Yes. Your inspiration to the world, your beauty and joy that you give us. I'd love to be able to share yours. You'll be driving home. A baby changes everything, doesn't it? Where are you driving home from? Where are you at? Look, Didn't I say if you were on a plane, where would you go? Where would y'all go? Nobody told me where'd they go. But at any rate, so I will get back in 2 weeks for sure, Cherub Chit Chat. And time willing, as far as baby goes, I might just come out here next week and show you. I'm just going to say I'm going to do it unless the baby comes and I'm driving, right? I will come back at you and show you the Mid-Atlantic exclusive fabric up close and personal, and that way you can see what it is all about, because it's fun. It's just fun. All right, guys, I'll see you all definitely next week, baby willing, and for Cherub Chit Chat in 2 weeks. But until next time, guys, you're going on a family. I'm sorry, people keep talking. I gotta see. Going on a family girls. Oh my gosh, crafting week. Oh my gosh. I think that is so cool, Sherry. Oh my gosh. Take lots of pictures. I want to see. Oh, I want to see what y'all make. It's crafting week with the girls. Oh, love it. All right. So until next time, may you all continue to be inspired, productive, ever so joyful, never stop believing, and never stop making your dreams in quilting come true. We love y'all. Happy quilting. Whoop, whoop. I'll see you all soon.